Let's talk about the first sin of man. Before man had sinned, they were standing together, Adam and Eve, in the garden, and they were both naked. No one was ashamed, no one was covered, no one was saying anything, and everything went well. But after the sin, when they ate, suddenly they covered up. What happened? Very simple. Beforehand, the body and the soul had an agreement. The body said, listen, you can control yourself, you can be good, you can be here with me. Just know that we're serving God. Behave yourself, don't do anything wrong, there's nothing to be ashamed of, you're a good guy, I'm a good guy. Great. After the sin became part of man, and the body says, hey bro, I'm in charge now. Well, hello, we had an agreement. You're supposed to remember that you are here to serve the soul. And says the body, I don't think so. So says the soul, you know what? It's time to cover up. It's time to accentuate the body, the soul, and not to bring attention to the physical. That's essentially what they're telling you to do. Why? Well, let me ask you a question. Imagine if the holiest rabbi was standing here right now. Ready? Standing here right now. And you had a choice between wearing a bikini or something completely covered. Why would you always wear something covered? Why? Because you couldn't expect the rabbi to stay in the room. Because holy people, holiness has to avoid improprieties. In fact, the word modesty means avoiding impropriety. Yes, I looked it up. I'm a loser. Okay, so check this out. When you sit there and dress in an inappropriate way to pull someone in to like you, you're basically saying, hey, check me out. Like me for this. You don't really know who I am. Not only are you giving them the wrong idea, because remember, in 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 years, and I'm being kind here, you're not going to look like that. So you're pulling someone in to like you for all the wrong reasons, as opposed to saying, listen, I'm beautiful, I'm all this. I'm covered up right now. You're not getting a chance to see that yet. You first have to get to know who I am, get to really understand where we are, and then rock and roll time. When it's allowed, when it's permissible. Hashem doesn't want us to be celibate, but he wants us to do it within the legal confines of the law. And in doing that, we will achieve true love and happiness, by the way. When we die and we go back to God, we don't have any clothing. So how do we stand in front of God? What is it in our lives that dresses up in front of God? And I found the answer in Eishes Chayil. It says she is robed in dignity and in strength. In dignity, meaning she's very respectful, and in strength. Where does she get her strength? Where does she get her strength? From her dignity. And that is how it works. When you polish jewelry, when you have a diamond bracelet, which I don't, thank God, when you wear a diamond bracelet, the diamonds sparkle because you put rhodium, which is a plating solution that sticks on the gold and it makes it sparkle. But the only way that you can get rhodium to stay on the gold is if you clean it completely. There can't be any dirt on it. Well, it's the same thing with Hashem. He is not going to dwell anywhere. And who's the holiest man in the Torah? We know it's Moshe Rabbeinu. Why? What was the one trait he had? Was he the strongest? Was he the tallest? No. He was actually the most modest, which means he knew he had game, but he kept it real. What is that? What is that modesty all about? Because Moshe Rabbeinu understood the only way to let God in is for me to remove myself from myself. And true modesty is when you meet some of these like really holy people, or even some of the bigger stars that are not full of themselves, they're quite nice. They're very modest. And you really see their greatness in the fact that they are quiet. But the second they walk around like, yo, forget it. You lost, man. You're not modest. You're a loser. You just have a lot of power, and that'll dissipate at one time too. My hope and prayer for all of you is that you inculcate the Torah, the mitzvahs in your lives, and do something with it and be a light unto the nations. That is how we can continue our legacy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.